Hey YouTube, this is Wrestling Amusement Park Fan 62. It is Friday, January the 13th. Now, you're going to look at the title in this video and be like, what? And the title of this video is going to be something along the lines of, is Cedar Fair taking out chain restaurants? Now, to put this in perspective, over the last 3 to 4 months, parks like Carowinds and King's Dominion in Virginia has taken out Chick-fil-A and Subway, which means, as of now, I don't really know much about King's Dominion, but from so basically what this means now is all the food in those parks are either something like chicken Pete's for Carowinds. I have heard potentially though they may be moving out as well. If that's true or not, I'm not entirely sure. So keep that in mind. But here's the but. I do see over time those chain restaurants leaving, either because Cedar Fair can't afford to pay to keep them in, or maybe whatever. I would use Kings Island for example, since it's considered my home Cedar Fair park. In this equation, the subway that they have in Coney Mall. As of now, they have two subways, one in the water park, one in the actual theme park itself. The one in the water park, at least, is open somewhat of the time. Uh, so you play like a 50-50 shot. Um, with the one in the theme park, it's closed more than it is open. Uh, well, it looks like it's ready to open a lot of the time. I just don't know why they can't open it. Maybe because they don't have the people or whatever. So, now, which means um, whoever owns that subway is missing out on a lot of money. So, here's what I can see happening over, let's say, the course of a couple of years. I can honestly see Cedar Fair starting to take out more of these chains and putting in like their own version of it, sort of like what Six Flags did. Uh, for example, with Panda Express, that is one of the that's like the Chinese chain that they have in a lot of their parks. I can honestly see them doing something like a Chop Six. Now, obviously, they couldn't call it Chop Six because that's a Six Flags thing, but I could honestly see him doing something like that because a lot of Chinese food is the same thing, just some minor changes. So you're talking about like a beef with broccoli, orange chicken, bourbon chicken, stuff like that. Next thing, with like Subway and all them. Honestly, you could, depending on the park, of course, call it something similar. So for like King's Island and King's Dominion, they could call it like King Subs or something in that ballpark. Um, Now for parks like Valley Fair and all them, they would have to figure out that name. But so for example, like Kings Island has La Rosa Pizza. Honestly, I can see them going out as well. I hate to say that. And I believe they would probably more than likely put in Hanks. Or not Hanks. Yeah, Hanks. Like if they have their park 4 hours north at Cedar Point. Um, the good part about that would be, to a point, Hanks tends to get more into the Italian category instead of like the fast food pizza like La Rosa is now. Uh, La Rosa is mostly just like pizza, and then of course you have like chicken tenders, burgers, salads, etc. Where with Hanks, I feel like they would probably get more into the Italian category, so you could have like pasta and all that. If they would still keep burgers and stuff, I don't know. More likely they would, just because they're a big seller. For Annie's, that's a toss up because they could keep it, um, or they could just do their own and do like their own version of things. I have seen both, so I am curious on that. Now, for like Kings Island has Skyline Chili. I don't know if they would stay or not. Also, I don't know if, I mean, theoretically, since a lot of what Skyline does is pretty easy to make on Kings Island's part, they could potentially do it. The only difference would be they would have to do it in a way that doesn't look like they're copying Skyline Chili. Uh, you can obviously do like cheese conies, which would just be like a small hot dog with chili and cheese. And then, of course, they could do like the one way, the two way, the three way, and etc. And just maybe do minor things to that. Now, as far as like Cinnabon is concerned, I don't know. I mean, it could they could potentially add it just to the bakery itself, which is close to Cinnabon anyway, or they could keep what Cinnabon is and just do their own version of stuff. Either or is possible. Um, Now for like Chick Fil A, this is going to be the interesting one because in Kings Island, for example, they have basically Chick Fil A, and then they have Hank's Chicken, not too far from it in Action Zone. Now, if you've been to Kings Island, you know where I'm talking about with this. But they both basically carry about the same things. They both carry chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders. I think the only difference is Chick fil A does wraps and something else, or Hanks does not. But that's really not that big of a deal. Honestly, I can either see Hanks adding a second location there, or either or them putting something different in that location. What they could add in, I don't know. That would be on them. Now, lastly, is uh, and that's really about it, as far as I'm aware of at this point. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? And why? I'm just curious. I like to hear from you guys as far as what do you think Cedar Fair will do? Do you think they will keep the chains that they have, like Skyline, um, La Rosa, Chick Fil A, Panda, and all them, or do you think they're going to go the cheaper route and just do it themselves, like Six Flags does? So I want to hear from you guys. Just let me know what you think, uh, and I'd be glad to hear from you.